Hello. So today I'm going to be playing some Nancy Drew Midnight in Salem. I don't know a whole lot about this game. I've played a lot of other Nancy Drew games. This one I've played a bit of. Unfortunately, what I've played so far did not record properly. Otherwise, this would have been a blind playthrough, but now it will be an almost blind playthrough. Which is probably actually good because I got pretty stuck on the very first puzzle of the game, so at least no one has to watch that. Otherwise, I don't know a whole lot about this particular game. What I do know is the release of this game was very delayed from the original schedule, so it's sort of a much anticipated addition to the Nancy Drew game series. And I've heard it's gotten somewhat mixed reviews. I don't really know why in any detail, so I guess we'll find out what we think as we go along. So I'm going to start a new game here and play on Amateur Sleuth since it's virtually my first time playing.
Dear Ned, Austria has been wonderful so far. Dad called. He wants me to get an old relic while I'm here, the Book of Apologies, which dates back to the 17th century witch trials in Salem. I'll be going to Mosam Castle to retrieve it before I head back to the States. It's said to be haunted, so I'm expecting some good scares and mysteries. Ever yours, Nancy. Feels like ages since I was on my last adventure. So, are you coming in?
That's all right, Miss Drew. I'd prefer to stay out here.
Why? It's so warm and inviting in here.
Yes, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. All of Judge Sewell's effects are there, just as your father requested. Although I will tell you, as I told him, the desk is locked, and I don't have the key. But I will gladly stay and answer any questions you have from the other side of this door. I recommend opening the window for some light. There's no electricity here. Well, in that room at least.
Sure, we'll open the window.
Ah, much better. What a wonderful view.
Oh, great. You know, that room used to be a prison cell. Mosam Castle was the site of the most famous and violent witch trials in Austrian history. The Salzburg witch trials predate the Salem witch trials by 17 years, actually. After the incidents in Salem, Judge Sewell willed his personal effects to be preserved by whichever museum would have them. And since we are the premier historical reference on witch trials, it ended up here.
So, you've seen his Book of Apologies.
The book written by Judge Sewell? Oh, no. I've never actually been in that room.
There's so many things that I find strange about this already. Like, Salem didn't want this guy's personal effects, and this Dr. Elizabeth, she's a historian, but she's never even been inside this room because she's too afraid of ghosts.
You mind if I ask why? Is there something scarier in here than creaky floors?
Well, let's just say that ghosts exist in this castle. And if they do exist, they definitely haunt that room.
Ghost? Can't say I've ever seen one, but they are non-corporeal by definition.
Also, I think Nancy has seen a few ghosts in a few of the other Nancy Drew games. Alright, so let's check our phone, like a true millennial. So, our checklist, the only thing on it is to find the Book of Apologies, which somehow ended up in Austria. Okay. So you can
There really isn't much
look
here.
around a bit.
Yes, Judge Sewell was a Puritan. They believed they should only have purposeful or utilitarian possessions, very little value outside their stated use.
In other words, he was a minimalist, and Marie Kondoed his room here.
Malleus Maleficarum. Wow. The Hammer of Witches itself. Gives me chills knowing what it did.
Yes, indeed. A how-to guide for hammering out witchcraft. It was written in 1487 by a man whose name I won't even bother to mention because he used bunk science to send hundreds, if not thousands, of people to their deaths.
Okay, so one thing that's new in this game versus other Nancy Drew games is you can read texts in, I don't know, I guess their original fancy script, or you can show it in plain text. So this is a creepy book about how to kill witches, like a surgeon cutting off rotten limbs. So yeah. And we can look around a bit more.
Some of this stuff looks very old, but it doesn't look like it's very useful.
Yeah, we just want that Book of Apologies thing.
An old chest, but it won't open. But that's not really important right now.
No. What's important is
Is this
old
Judge
desk.
Sewell's desk?
Ah, yes. That desk is where he spent most of his time working when he wasn't in court. Custom made. If the Book of Apologies does exist, he would have written it at that desk.
And what's inside this alleged book?
Your father didn't tell you? It was a ledger containing all the names of the accused witches from the Salem witch trials. Judge Sewell had doubts about his convictions, and he wrote the book as a means to make amends.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Yes, but Dr. Elizabeth doesn't know because she's too afraid to even go inside
I found
this
a
room.
letter. It's addressed to Abigail Hathorne Woodley.
What does it say?
I do regret to write to you in this state. I have been racked with guilt as my fervency of spirit was too great to determine a conviction just. He asks for her forgiveness and for God's.
Okay. Yeah, so this judge feels bad because his wife's mother, two of his daughters, and his latest child have perished. So, yeah, so he's hoping to, I don't know, make up for killing witches because he feels bad because he feels like he's being punished. You can rotate things in this game.
What does this mean?
Okay. So, this desk is a bit of a puzzle.
Locked.
It's locked. So the key is over here. So that didn't take me too long to find the first time I played this game. However, what did take me a long time to figure out was that in this game you can not only examine the items in your inventory, but you can interact with them. So, we have that key now. If we just go back to the desk, you would think the key would open the desk,
Doesn't fit.
but it doesn't fit. However, if you examine the key in your inventory and then click on it to interact, aha, that looks like it's gonna fit the lock now. So, now, there we go.
What a clever desk. It even comes with a labyrinth.
That took me so long to figure out the first time I played this. I'm glad that recording was lost. So anyways, this next puzzle is quite a bit easier. We are just getting this wooden peg, whatever it is, wooden square, through a maze.
Easy.
And here we go.
I found it. It's here.
What? Really? Amazing!
It's locked behind some sort of cage, though. The lock says A.W. Any ideas?
A.W.? No. But I have some tools in the shop that might be able to cut it free. In my shop. I'll go. Meet me there.
I have to say, I'm kind of shocked that a historian would want to just break open this lock of this ancient relic. Like, maybe not ancient, but it's pretty old. Wouldn't you want to preserve it and find some, like, proper way to open it? No. Let's just smash it open.
Where is that? Hey, wait for me.
Okay, she is leaving without us. Let's go.
Nancy! This way!
Which way?
Where is that? Dr. Hurst?
Oh.
Nancy Drew, it's Deirdre Shannon.
Deirdre Shannon? Okay, so all I know about Deirdre Shannon is she appears in at least one other Nancy Drew game. I believe Alibi and Ashes. And she does not like Nancy, but she really likes Nancy's boyfriend, Ned.
Deirdre, can I call you back? I'm in the middle of...
Listen, I know we haven't exactly been besties in the past, but I'm in the middle of something big, and I...
Deirdre, I have to call you back.
Wait, don't hang up on me!
Elizabeth? Elizabeth! Hey!
What?
What are you doing?
Oh, okay.
What? The book! They took the book!
Okay, what? They just jumped out the window?
This is the only way out besides the door. The thief must still be close.
Okay, we're not gonna jump out the window. Okay, we gotta chase after him.
Stop!
Oh, yeah.
Stop running!
Yeah, they'll stop if we just yell at them. Okay. Alright. Oh, we gotta chase after him. Okay, we're getting close.
Gotta move slowly.
Yeah. Sneak up on them.
Come on. No!
What? They just smoke bombed their way out of here? Okay, that's crazy.
Gotta figure out which way they went. Must be a clue here.
Yeah. Okay, so a plane ticket. It's a pretty good clue. They went to Boston.
A ticket to Boston.
Okay, the key. They somehow had the key that opens that specific lock to that book, the Book of Apologies, which seems like really convenient that the room was unlocked by the historian. Nancy was lured away from it right after she found this hidden book, and then conveniently this thief stops by at exactly the right time with the key. It just seems fishy to me. Seems like someone is in cahoots with someone else. I suspect the historian right now.
A.W. Same as the desk. This canister looks to have been used as a homemade smoke bomb.
Yeah, not weird at all. Okay. So, okay, who's that now?
Yes, Deirdre. What is it?
You know where I am right now? Salem.
Salem? As in witch trial Salem?
Obvi. Come on, Drew. My cousin has... well, she's gotten into some trouble here, and I thought I could help her out. But it turns out this situation is much more complicated than I anticipated. So now I'm calling you to ask for some guidance.
You want my help?
Ugh, yes, don't make this more painful. I could use your professional opinion, okay?
Well, it so happens that the case I'm on is connected to Boston.
Yeah, isn't that just a little too convenient?
which is just nearby Salem. And I was never a big believer in coincidences.
Oh, are you sure?
I'd love to.
Seriously?
I thought I had reached a dead end, but it looks like I have to go to Massachusetts anyway. In any case, a fresh perspective would do me good.
Ugh, you're already annoying me, and you're not even here yet.
It's a little rude.
You're welcome. I think it might even be fun.
Oh, this is so the worst idea I've ever had. I'll pick you up from the airport.
That's nice, though. That'll save Nancy on cab fare. Or I guess Uber fare.
I appreciate you coming here, Drew.
I'm just glad you didn't change your mind and leave me at the airport.
Might have crossed my mind. Keep the excessive cheeriness under control, and we'll be fine.
No promises.
Where were you, by the way?
Austria.
Did I interrupt a vacation with Ned?
Oh, you would just love that, wouldn't you, Deirdre?
Didn't you bring me here to help with a case?
Yes, I did. And that's it.
A fire? Was anyone hurt?
Happened in the middle of the night. No one was there, thankfully. The house wasn't completely destroyed, but the person who lived there had to move out. Just so we're clear, this is my case. I know you're a detective and everything, but this is personal. It's family. Well, extended, and from my father's side. But whatever, that's...
Does Deirdre not like her father or something? Like her father's side only sort of counts as family?
not the point. It's personal. You take my lead, okay?
Of course.
But...
Well, I have done this a couple of times, Deirdre, and in my experience, we can cover twice as much ground if we work side by side.
you know, respect your experience and whatever, but family trumps experience. It's sensitive, and I don't want you messing it up by being too...
To what?
Too you. You're a question machine.
Nancy is indeed a question machine.
This requires gentle handling. Delicate.
And that's been your approach.
Well, like I say, I need help.
So, can I ask some questions?
Like anyone could stop you.
Question machine.
Why don't we start with your extended family?
They're cousins. The Perrys. Parry.
Oh, like in fencing.
Yes. Tegan is the older one. May is younger. They had a difficult childhood, okay? And now May is suspected of committing arson on the most important historic mansion in Salem. And I know it's not true. I know it.
What can you tell me about May?
She has a reputation as a troublemaker. Seems like a loner to me. Maybe a bit odd at times. Sometimes she can even sense things before they happen.
So it kind of sounds like May is one of the witches of Salem. So I feel like we're gonna like May.
Odd how?
I don't know. Troubled teen stuff, difficult time as a kid. Oddest thing is, she won't give an alibi.
That would be seen as suspicious.
That's the problem. Everyone is so suspicious of her. Prejudice, I guess. Because of... well, you'll see.
Sounds like we should talk to her soon.
Where do you think we're going?
Prejudice against witches in Salem. I don't know if there's still very much of that going on.
What does Tegan think about this?
She's worried about May, obviously. Tegan isn't like May. She's upstanding. She works at the Salem Museum and doesn't know a thing about criminal cases, which is why she contacted me.
Okay, one more question from the question
One more
machine.
question. What can you tell me about this historic mansion?
It's called the Hathorn House, and it's old. Like really old. And now it's been set on fire.
Nothing else significant about it?
Well, yeah, a lot of things. But one that's kinda why you're here.
Which is why.
The Hathorn house is haunted.
And Nancy has never seen a ghost.
What do you mean, haunted?
Exactly that. There's ghosts.
Deirdre.
I don't believe it either, Drew. But I can't explain it. Everyone seems to think they exist. With so many sightings, even if it isn't real ghosts, something is definitely going on. I thought that maybe you can disprove them. So, would you please get out of my car and come inside? If we're going to work side by side, you'd better learn to keep up with me.
You must be Nancy. Thank you so much for coming.
Okay.
You know, you live in the same neighborhood for 20 years, and you'd expect your neighbors to be a little more understanding when your family is falsely accused of a horrific crime. Oh, I'm sorry. How are you, Deirdre?
So that's
I'm
Tegan.
good, thanks.
Tegan Perry. Welcome to my home. Well, our home, although right now my parents are literally on safari in Namibia, so while their daughter is being convicted of a crime she didn't commit, I'm taking care of things around here. They'll be home soon. Hopefully. A very expensive courier is tracking them down in the bush. Top notch. I found him on the internet. Deirdre tells me you'll be assisting her in clearing my sister's name.
Assisting? Yeah.
She's innocent. I don't know why she won't help herself. She's got a difficult reputation. Well, you know, Deirdre, what people here can be like. She doesn't trust easily, not since... I'm sorry, are you hungry? There's clam chowder, homemade.
Not since what? Stop trying to distract me with clam chowder. Although I would like
A
some
little
clam
taste
chowder.
of New England. I made up the guest bedroom for you, Nancy. Deirdre, sorry, you're bunking with May. Make yourselves at home.
So Tegan keeps her whole bedroom to herself and sticks Deirdre with weird cousin May.
Oh, I almost forgot. After you girls get comfortable, you two should swing by the museum. Might as well take in some history while you're here, right? Just don't get suckered into that witch's walking tour. Olivia
What witch is walking to her? That sounds fantastic.
Ravencroft is not a witch. She would have you believing all kinds of nonsense about the town being full of ghosts.
I thought you two used to be friends.
That was a long time ago. Look, I'm sorry, I gotta get going. Running late to an appointment.
Thanks, Tegan. I appreciate you letting us stay. Before you go, do you have time for a quick question?
Nancy,
Question
we
machine.
just got here.
Sorry, I know you're in a rush. It would really help.
Of course, I have time for one question, if it'll help.
Okay, one question. So we can ask about the fire or May. So I think we're going to get introduced to May regardless, so let's ask about the
What
fire.
can you tell me about where the fire happened?
What have you heard about it? Look, I appreciate you want help, but I don't want you dragging all that up and upsetting May. You told me
Well-
she would be able to reach her. That's not the...
How are
That's
we
not
going to
what
help
Nancy is
without
asking
knowing
about.
about the fire?
I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. I just thought since the Hathorn house is important to the town, you must know about it. Through the museum.
Oh, I'm so sorry. The Hathorn house fire.
What
Yes,
other
John
fire?
Hathorn was one of Salem's
is there?
founders. His large house estate was the oldest surviving structure from 17th century Salem.
Oh, is that all?
That was 2 questions. I said 1. But yes, he was also the big-time judge that presided over the Salem witch trials.
Is there some other fire I need to know about?
Yeah.
No. May's accident was in a fire. I just
What
don't want her getting
accident?
upset with unnecessary questions about things long over.
I understand.
You can read all about Judge Hathorn when you come to the museum later. Gotta run.
You jerk. Tegan said you've been in town for days, but you haven't come by.
I know. I had to check in with your case at the, Look, I didn't want to bother you. How you holding up?
I've been accused of worse.
No, you haven't.
Hey, at least I got you to get off your butt and finally visit me.
Oh, this is the girl I was telling you about. Nancy Drew.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, okay.
Oh. She really doesn't want to talk. This could be difficult. Any advice?
Do better? I'll be in the kitchen.
Yeah, so seems like rudeness is just a family trait in Deirdre's family. That seems to be what they all have in common so far. So yeah, so I think I'll leave this part right here, and in the next part we'll carry on exploring the Perry house, and we'll head over to the museum, see what's going on there. Thanks for watching.